This video is brought to you by REP Gaming Products. Help protect your deck and support the show by picking up a steel deck box from the link down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. So last week, during our instant deck tags, the most popular one of the week was the crazy Gigantosaurus Devotion deck for Modern. Basically like this weird mashup of like a beat-downy green deck with also some big Devotion stuff thrown in. So we're gonna give it a shot this week and see how it works. Like usual, gonna do a super quick 2-minute refresher deck tech just to remind you of what the deck's like. If you want to see the full breakdown, make sure to check out the instant deck tech that I'll put in the description box down below. Anyway, a super quick reminder before we break down Gigantosaurus Devotion for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Much Abrew in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Gigantosaurus Devotion, and we are a Devotion deck with our big Devotion payoff being Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. So Nykthos taps to add a lot of mana if we have a lot of green mana symbols on the battlefield, but as you can see, it's just a 2-of. We're not really dedicated to the Devotion plan. It comes up sometimes, it's really powerful sometimes, but really we're kind of like a Stompy-ish sort of deck, taking advantage of two new cards, Steel Leaf Champion, Gigantosaurus. These are both cards that are just really big for their mana cost. A 5-4 for 3 mana, a 10-10 for 5 mana, plus they put a lot of green mana symbols on the battlefield for Nykthos. Otherwise, we get a bunch of fast mana to ramp into our Gigantosauruses, our Steel Leaf Champions, Utopia Spiral, Arbor Elf, the fastest ramp package in Modern, also a Birds of Paradise, Burning Tree Emissary, kind of non-traditional ramp with our Nykthos. We can flood the board with them. They have 2 green mana symbols, tap Nykthos for a bunch of mana, play our huge stuff. We also have Garrick, which is kind of a weird ramp spell as well. Like, it's obviously a ramp spell because you untap 2 lands, but in our deck with Nykthos and Utopia Sprawl, we're often untapping lands that are making more than 1 mana, which makes it even better. Otherwise, we got a lot of weird card advantage stuff. Elvish Visionary, green mana symbol, draws us a card. Runic Armasaur hopefully draws us some card as our opponents cracking fetch lands, activating abilities. 1 Tireless Tracker. Then we have some kind of less traditional card advantage. Bloodbraid Elf comes along with a friend. Domri Raid can tick up to find us more creatures. We got a ton in the deck. Scavenging Ooze, Acidic Slime for utility spells. Graveyard Hate, life gain, blowing up artifacts, enchantments, or lands. Otherwise, on the top end of our curve, along with Gigantosaurus, Wormcoil Engine gives us a huge life-linking threat against aggro. Rurik Thar is our big threat against like combo decks where our opponent can't cast many spells. Craterhoof to slam shut the door. A bunch of fetch lands. 1 Stomping Grounds for our red spells, some forests. In the sideboard, we get a bit of removal. Lightning Bolt, Abrade, Natural States for artifacts and enchantments. Obstinate Baloth for Jund and Burn. Thrun for control decks. Relic for graveyard. Stamping Sphere for Tron and Storm. Spellskite to fight against Boggles and Burn. Blood Moon to just jank them out of the game. And that is Gigantosaurus Devotion for Modern. And that is our Much Abrew deck for this week. So let's get to the gameplay so you can see how it works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the gameplay. And I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Alright, Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are playing some Gigantosaurus Devotion in Modern, and this hand looks pretty awesome. Turn 1 Utopia Sprawl. Ironworks. Alright. Well, I guess we're dead. This hand looks like it has a really fast clock, but I don't think it's fast enough to beat Ironworks clock. Utopia Sprawl on red? Actually, I think we gotta name green. Yeah, name green for our Steel Leaf Champion. I guess Rurik Thar is sort of an out. If we get on a Rurik Thar, eggs probably cannot beat it. Mind Stone. Cracks, Chromatics, Ancient Stirrings. Still legal in Modern. And that's an Ironworks. Alright, so probably dead next turn. Opponent passes. So I think we actually... I don't think we can win by going fast. I think we have to Elvish Visionary. I think we need to draw a ramp spell Forest. All right, play the forest, pass the turn. Like, playing Steel Leaf is fine, but since our opponent has this Ironworks, a 5/5 on turn 2 is just not fast enough. We need to have a way to interact with what our opponent's doing, which our hope was to get to this Acidic Slime next turn. That didn't work out, but... All right, there's Ironworks. Are we dead? Looks like it. Ichor Wellspring. Sacks it. Draws a card. Opponent. Ichor Wellspring. Drawn cards. Add in mana. Chromatic Sphere. Sacks it. Scrap Trawler. Sacks Mind Stone to get back Chromatic Sphere. So our opponent is a Mirror Retriever away from going infinite. Sacks it. Get back Darksteel Citadel. The problem is, even if we untap, we can't do anything of relevance. Scrap Trawler gets back Wellspring. Wellspring draws a card. Sacks it. Wellspring. They've done a good job of drawing all their Wellsprings. Ancient Stirrings. There's a Mirror Retriever. And... oh my god, they drew every Wellspring. Every Wellspring. Alright. And opponent has a combo. We will scoop it up. Modern. Actually, wizards. Why, wizards? Why? Why do you let this be a thing? A Braid in, Damping Sphere in. Natural State is actually not very helpful. I mean, I think we still bring it in, but it's not game over by any stretch. So bring in anything that's even somewhat hate against what our opponent's doing. Runic Armasaur, I think, does literal nothing. All those abilities our opponent's activating, and they are activating a lot, but they are all mana abilities. So we don't actually draw cards. And plus, once our opponent's going off, drawing cards, probably not going to save us. What else do we go down here? This feels like a tough one. Like, that was a hand where we could have played a Steel Leaf Champion. I mean, I guess we're on the draw, but we could have played a Steel Leaf Champion on turn 2, and we're just dead on turn 3. A Braid, Damping Sphere, Natural State, Relic of Progenitus. That's a slight bit of something that's maybe relevant. Domri Ray doesn't seem great. Worm Coil, not relevant. When we die, it doesn't really matter how much life we gain. And what else do we go down? Tireless Tracker is probably slow, but it is a card. Is that really our worst card? We want a ramp. One way we can potentially win is getting down Rurik Thar. That's one of our best options. Unfortunately, it's 6 mana. I think we need Crater Hoof because that can actually kill our opponent. Slime's good. Garrick, it's fine. Maybe we just go down the birds. Let's go down the birds. This might just be a really bad matchup. I think turn 3 combo decks probably pretty far down on the list of things we want to play. All right. I mean, we're going to keep this. It's not an absurd hand, but we have some ramp. We get a redraw. We're basically just hoping to find our sideboard cards before we die. Being on the play is somewhat helpful. Grove of the Burn Willows. And there's Ancient Stirrings. And that's an Ironworks. All right, deck. Be good to us. Be good to us. Opponent passes. Forest. I'll play the Forest. Tap, untap. Play Tireless Tracker. Pass the turn. So next turn we can kind of empty our hand, but it's still not stuff that necessarily beats what our opponent's doing. Ichor Wellspring. Alright, so hopefully we're not dead next turn. Opponent passes. Alright, deck, give us a good draw. Utopia Sprawl's interesting. So, Utopia Sprawl our Forest. On green. Tap, untap, tap, play Garrick, play Windswept Heath, get a clue, crack Windswept Heath, get a Stomping Grounds, untapped, get a clue, untap, untap, play Elvish Visionary, play Burning Tree Emissary, crack a clue. Ugh. Alright, well, get in with Tireless Tracker. Can we win next turn? Maybe. So if we overrun with Garrick, 5, 9... Oh! Well, they're short an artifact. Oh! Daggers! Well, turn 4 kills, lose to turn 3 kills. And our opponent had... Jeez. The Wombo Combo, Mox Opal, 0 mana artifact, and the land to get down their Ironworks, and now we're most likely dead. So I'm pretty sure that this deck should be banned. It is a very consistent turn 3 kill, and it is... I mean, maybe that's going too far to say that it should be banned. Maybe that's going too far, but it kills on turn 3 very consistently, and it is way more resilient to hate cards than you would think. I mean, what do you do? We had a turn 4 kill. We did everything we could possibly want to do against the Eggs deck, and it just doesn't especially matter. So, yeah, I mean... We haven't conceded yet, but our opponent was at like 2 cards in hand. They are now at 7. Back down to 5, but they have some redraws. Add some mana. I mean, I'm hoping they just play Mirror Retriever and then we can scoop, because then it's officially over. I mean, it's over. The only reason, okay, Pyrite Spellbomb, Mox Opal. The only reason we haven't scooped yet is, in theory, we win next turn if our opponent somehow fizzles. But that seems unlikely to actually work out in practice. Opponent's got... Alright, there's Mirror Retriever, and we will scoop it up. Alright, well, what can you say? Turn 3 kills. Modern's a fun, happy format. Oh, dear. Well, hopefully we don't play Eggs again. Alright. Much Abrew about nothing time, and we're playing some Gigantosaurus Devotion. Unfortunately, I don't think we can keep this hand. We have Gigantosauruses like crazy. We got Craterhoof. We're just a little light on mana, and our hand's super expensive. Oh god, these are the kind of hands that make me cry. All right, please live Arbor Elf. Wins up deep for our opponent, cracks it. I mean, if our Arbor Elf lives, this hand is pretty good. Temple Garden. Oh my god. It's a virtual who's who of the most miserable decks in Modern. Eggs into Boggles! Oh, Lord. Lord almighty. Alright, Arbor Elf go. I don't know if our mono green deck... I mean, I guess we can try to go over the top. That's probably our best bet, is just somehow make big enough things and then Craterhoof to deal 1 million. That's our plan anyway. We'll see if it actually works. We have an Acidic Slime. Alright, opponent cracking their Windswept Teeth, gets a Plains. Oh boy. Core Spirit Dancer is not a card we were hoping for. Well, tap, untap, tap. Play Burning Tree Emissary, add some mana, play Arbor Elf. Yeah, the Spirit Dancer is an issue. We can't actually kill it, and that's going to fuel our opponent drawing a lot of cards. Razor Verge Thicket. Also, we are now officially 2 for 2 in matchups where Runic Armasaur doesn't actually do much. Literal dead card against Ironworks, and very close to a dead card against Boggles. I guess there's a couple of straight fetch lands, but the deck is intentionally not very fetch heavy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Our streak of dying on turn 3 will continue. Our opponent's 2-2 is going to be bigger than our Gigantosaurus by next turn. Opponent gets in for 1 million, and I guess we're just going to scoop it up. I'm not sure what we could draw here that would make us not concede. So we could Garrick, untap, play Scavenging Ooze, and die? Alright. Well, this might be the fastest Much Abrew League ever. We just die to degenerate turn 3 decks repeatedly. Alright, well, Spellskite is insane. That is probably our best card. Natural State is also pretty good. Is it worth bringing in Blood Moon. Turn 2 Blood Moon on the play, I think beats this deck. I think we have to go down Armasaurs. I think they just do nothing. What else do we cut? Domri probably just dies. This matchup might be bad enough that we just need to bring in Blood Moon. Even though it's like not insane, but it might just be that this matchup is so bad we don't really have a choice. Probably go down Eternal Witness and maybe go down Tireless Tracker. Alright, try it like that. Spellskite and Blood Moon, hopefully coming down on turn 2. Alright. I mean, we got Rurikthar. Unfortunately, it's a ways away, but, I mean, turn 1 Utopia Sprawl on green. Pass the turn. Something like an Arbor Elf, Spellskite, Blood Moon. Those are the cards at the top of our list. Temple Garden, untapped. And Boggle. Boggle 1, probably better known as Glade Cover Scout. Come on, Blood Moon! Arbor Elf. Well, Arbor Elf is oddly not bad. That might be good enough. Play Arbor Elf. Play Misty. Crack Misty. Grab a Stomping Grounds. I guess we did that slightly backwards and took damage for no reason. But this means if there's no path, we get to Rurikthar. Yeah, that was very backwards with our sequencing. Probably going to hear about that in the comments. Cartouche. Yep. Opponent goes attacking. Does this mean path? Gets in, down to 15. It is a path. That's bad. We really needed that mana. Oh, play Elvish Visionary. Draw a Spellskite or Blood Moon? It is a Blood Moon. Alright, well, play the Forest. Play Blood Moon. That should slow our opponent down a smidge. That was a good draw. Now our opponent can't cast anything, and even with our Arbor Elf being killed, we're now a land away from Rurikthar, and Rurikthar should just shut this game down. Opponent gets in, down to 13. Blood Moon came fast enough. Opponent passes. That is a land. Well, I think a concession might be in order from our opponent. I'm pretty sure that this Rurikthar is just game. Opponent blocks. Rurikthar you? Pass the turn. So Rurikthar, if you're not familiar, whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, they take 6. And this is the kind of draw we need to beat Boggles. Blood Moon into Blood Moon on 3, Rurikthar on 4. So our opponent needs like basic land path to have any slight bit of hope. Opponent. Passing. Alright. Oh man. Blood Moon keeping us from casting Gigantosaurus. That's a bit of a non-bow. Well, get inward Rurikthar. Play Steel Leaf Champion. Pass the turn. Also, this cannot block Steel Leaf Champion, so I think that's working. And opponent, yep, does not draw planes, and Blood Moon janking them out. Well, that was our plan. Our plan was to jank them out, and our plan worked. I think this is the setup. Run it back. Run it back. See if we can jank them out one more time. I would not complain about the double jank out. All right. Turn 2 Blood Moon. Our opponent's probably going to fetch out a basic, but still, it slows him down. Ooh, not a basic. All right, there's Boggle, number 1. Opponent, passing. We're going to have a lot of red mana because of these fetches. There's a Forest, so Windswept Heath, crack it. Grab a Forest, and Utopia Sprawl. On green. Pass the turn. We can Burning Tree Emissary and then use the red mana for Blood Moon and fetch out another Forest, which is actually helpful. Temple Garden. So now we're mostly hoping our opponent taps out and does not leave up Nature's Claim mana. Whew. All right. Well, they got a big Boggle, so we are going to have to survive this big Boggle that is trampling and first striking, which could actually be a problem. Down to 14. So Windswept Heath, crack Windswept Heath, down to 13. Get a Forest, Burning Tree Emissary, add mana, Blood Moon. Pass the turn. Can we beat a 5/3 first strike trample? I'm not 100% sure. Steel Leaf is something, but it's not enough by itself. Opponent gets in, down to 8. We don't have many turns left. Opponent passes. Nykthos. Play Steel Leaf Champion. Pass the turn. So we need to draw a big creature. That's where we're at. A big creature that we can cast. Another Steel Leaf, something like that. So we can throw everything in front of this Boggle. Yeah, opponent gets in. Down to 3. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Opponent passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Windswept Heath, go. So I think if our opponent doesn't draw a basic. All right, not a basic. Opponent, this Worm Coil might do it. Assuming our opponent doesn't draw a basic soon. So block with Steel Leaf. We drop to 2. Yep. Opponent passes. Well, Bloodbraid will be good in the future, but for now, Worm Coil Engine? Blood Moon! There's a reason we love Blood Moon, and this match is the reason we love Blood Moon. Oh my god, it's keeping us alive. No Plains Path. No Plains in Path. Opponent passing. Yeah, let's Bloodbraid. Ooh, into Steel Leaf Champion. Sweet. Play Nykthos. Get in with Worm Coil. Opponent takes it. We go back up to 8. Pass the turn. Oh, man. Surviving. Surviving. Oh my god, that's the Plains. Wow. Pass Worm Coil. Whoa! All right. Things just took a turn for the worse. For the much worse. Opponent. Come on, Hoof. Hoof Daddy. Hoof Daddy. Or Rurgthar. Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. Oh, man. That was a huge draw for our opponent. Ethereal Armor. Opponent. Passes. Burning Tree. Pass the turn. Oh, man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Wow. How many Blades do they play? Opponent. They can't attack or they die unless they can play a white creature. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Give us something good. Well, Visionary's a redraw. Something big. Well, Utopia Sprawl. On green. So if we attack with everything, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is not lethal. So pass and pray. We need something big. We need a big thing. These little things are not going to do it. 1! The number is 1. The number of Blades that Boggles plays is literal 1. At least based on the most common deck on Goldfish. Our opponent could be a basic heavy build. Scavenging Ooze is not horrible. So let's see. If we attack with everything, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So play Scavenging Ooze. Pass the turn. We might be able to just go wide enough. The problem is we're going to be in a position where we die to a path if we all out swing. Assuming we don't draw something. Opponent's going to path Steel Leaf. All right. Get a forest out of our deck. We have Gigantosaurus mana. That would be bigger than Slips. Opponent. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, well. Block. Oh, no. We almost punted. Block here. Actually, we can block here, can't we? Block here. We go up to 9. Yeah. So block with Visionary. Eat Steel Leaf. Drop to 1. And we got the GG. Eat Visionary. Wow. Blood Moon saves the day. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh boy. What were we going to draw? Ooh, natural. That would have actually been a good draw. Killing Ethereal Armor. Wow. Well, that is the power of Blood Moon. The power of Blood Moon compels you. Sweet. All right. Much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Gigantosaurus Devotion in Modern, and we're going to keep this. It's a bit risky. The big risk is if our Arbor Elf gets bolted or fatal pushed, then we're at risk of doing nothing. Tron. All right, Expedition map. Well, now the plan is to try to kill our opponent very quickly. Windswept Heath, crack Windswept Heath, grab a forest, tap, untap, play Steel Leaf. I mean, Steel Leaf is big. Is it big enough to race a turn 3 Tron? Which is happening. Opponent cracks. Ugh. Well, we have some stuff in the sideboard. We got a Damping Sphere. We got Blood Moons. Land, maybe? Crater Hoof. Well, tap, untap, play Steel Leaf. At its heart, this deck is pretty fair. Like, we can play creatures pretty quickly, but when it comes right down to it, playing a big old Steel Leaf champion, all is dust, and alright, on to sideboarding. We can't cast a single thing in our hand. Opponent has Tron assembled, so yeah, let's go to sideboarding. Bring in our Blood Moons. Bring in Damping Sphere. Bring in Natural States. What are we going down? Probably like Wormcoil Engine. Go down Domri Raid. Go down Scavenging Ooze. Go down maybe like Eternal Witness, Tireless Tracker. Try it like that. Try to increase our odds of Bloodbraid Elf hitting Blood Moon. Alright, we'll try this. We're going to need a draw, but there is good news. The good news is we Arbor Elf on 1, and then we can Natural State and Expedition Map if we need to. So, and we have the mana that we can play a Blood Moon if we draw it. And we get a redraw with Visionary. Alright, Tower. There's the map. So that works out. Blood Moon? Windswept Heath. Well, Misty Rainforest, crack Misty Rainforest. Grab a forest. Play Visionary. Draw a Steel Leaf. Untap. Blow up Expedition Map. Pass the turn. Damping Sphere or Blood Moon? That's what we really need. Oh boy. So our opponent just going to be able to assemble. Yup. Opponent's going to have Tron. Come on, Blood Moon. Blood Moon. Garrick. Well, Windswept Heath. Crack Windswept Heath. Grab a forest. Play Steel Leaf. We need a clock. Go attacking. So our opponent hopefully does not have natural Tron, and then they have to spend their turn setting up Tron, which gives us one turn to draw Blood Moon or Damping Sphere. Alright. Tron being assembled. Well, we got one turn. One turn. Power plant. Opponent. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. We've been thinning our deck as much as possible. More lands. Well, play Forest. Play Garrick. Tick up. I mean, this is our only realistic shot. We just have to hope our opponent has nothing and we can overrun for the win. Oh boy. That's a lot of mana. Oblivion Stone. Yep. Opponent passing. Oh, we're flooding. We're only a 19-land deck, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ugh. Well, I mean, this is all we can do. Yep. Opponent gets a crack. Draw a card. Sure. Then Oblivion Stone. Well, play Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Well, we gotta just hope our opponent's got nothing. Alright. Well, Thought Nasir is not a Karn, so it's less devastating than some options. Oh. And they have Karn? Yeah, even just Wormcoil is pretty unbeatable. Well, crack this. We're gonna have every land out of our deck. That's something. Bloodbraid. Well, what did Fa'ils? Crack what did Fa'ils? Stomping Ground, untapped. Bloodbraid into Blood Moon, Steel Leaf. Like, Steel Leaf and Bloodbraid, it's sweet, but our opponent's to the Wormcoil part of the game, so it's not sweet enough. Opponent gets in with Wormcoil. 4/6. Gains a bunch of life. Yup. Down to 7. Opponent's up to 17. More Oblivion Stones. Land. Oh my goodness. I'm not 100% sure how this is possible. Well, get in with Steel Leaf. We're just on the super mega flood plan. Play Windswept Heath, pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're going to have 14 of the 19 lands out of our deck after we crack this Windswept Heath. So it's a little unfortunate. that with so few lands left in our deck, we're still drawing them consistently. Yep, counter on Thought Knot. And our deck is not really built to come back from behind. I guess there's some chance we steal a win with something like a Crater Hoof, but we don't have enough board state, and our opponent has an onboard Wrath, so we'll crack this. We're just going to try to get every single land out of our deck, and we're pretty close. Yep, alright, that does it. Our opponent just wins with Oblivion Stone no matter what we play. Counter on Worm Coil, sack Oblivion Stone, and alright, not a thing of beauty for our Gigantosaurus Devotion deck. A lot of lands, though. Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Gigantosaurus Devotion, and this hand looks pretty good. Misty Rainforest, crack it. Grab a forest, play Arbor Elf. We got lots of mana. We have the combo of Utopia Sprawl and Arbor Elf. Unfortunately, we can't get a clue next turn. Island for our opponent. And passes. Ooh, Runic Armasaur. Well, play Misty. Crack Misty. Grab a forest. Utopia Sprawl. On green. Tap. Untap. Tap. Play Burning Tree. Add some mana. Play Steel Leaf. And pass the turn. I mean, we got a fast clock. Next turn, we can hopefully get down some card draw. If we draw land next turn, we'll Tireless Tracker. If we draw a non-land, we'll probably Armasaur. Also depends on what we draw. I mean, we have mana to play like a Gigantosaurus or something. If it's Storm, I'm not sure if we're fast enough. And this looks like Storm. Opt, Spire Bluff, Island. That would be Storm, most likely. Control does not usually play Spire Bluff, at least as much as Storm does. Opponent, passing. Alright. Untap. Forest. Well, play Tireless Tracker. Opponent remands. Untap. Play a forest. And let's play Armasaur. More likely to draw us a card right away. Go attacking. So far, Armasaur has been pretty bad. We've sideboarded out almost every matchup. It might just be what we're playing against, but we have played all combo decks with very few fetch lands. And it looks like that trend is continuing. It is Storm, so we're probably dead. Yep, Pyretic Ritual. Oh my god. This league. This has been the worst, least fun league I've ever played. We played eggs into Boggles, into Storm. This is just like, if you could write all we need is Tron to finish it off, but it has all just been mono goldfish combo decks 1000% of the time. I mean, that is it. Opponent's gonna wrath our board. Yup. And passes. Well, play Tireless Tracker. Stomping Grounds, untapped. Go attacking. Opponent blocks. Takes 2. Pass the turn. I mean, I would not be at all surprised if we're still just dead here. Steam Vents tapped. Alright, maybe we're not just dead. Well, crack a clue, draw a card. Pump Tracker. Birds, not super helpful. Or really helpful at all. Would have rather just drawn a land, I think, for Tracker. Oh boy. Well, those are not even close to the draws we wanted. We just managed to draw 2 lands, essentially, but they're lands that don't trigger Tireless Tracker, which basically makes them strictly worse lands on this board state. Literally the 2 worst draws in our deck. Opponent blocks. Yep. Well, play Utopia Sprawl on green. Play Birds of Paradise, because why not? Pass the turn. Well, no gifts ungiven, so we're not 100% dead yet. Crack that fetch. Crack that fetch, give us a card. Please. I want this Armasaur to do something once. Alright, Bloodbraid Elf is not the absolute worst. Bloodbraid. Ooh, into Domri Raid. That is good. Domri Raid might let us win, actually. If this stuff resolves. We can fight the Brawl. Opponent remands Bloodbraid. Loots. Well, we fight Baral. Hit our opponent to 1. Bird sending a message. Well, let's see. Let's see if we are dead. It would be nice if the answer was no. Electromancer. Ritual. Manamorphose. And scoops it up. All right. Our opponent just did not have it. Well, we will take it. Against Storm, we don't have much. We bring in Damping Sphere. We bring in Relic. We go down Armasaur, which is quickly proving to just be not good, at least in our league. And I guess we run it like that. I guess we can bring in, like, the bolts, maybe? Killing a Baral is relevant and important. Maybe, like, go down 1 birds and go down probably Wormcoil. Try it like that. Well, we are on the draw, but this hand is pretty good. We have turn 2 Damping Sphere, which is probably our single best sideboard card in the matchup. And then we have, if we can get to it, hopefully Damping Sphere slows down the game enough that we can get to Rurikthar. And Rurikthar is just another, like, both of those are cards that our opponent can't combo off with as long as they're on the battlefield. Spire Bluff Canale. Opponent passes. Well, Forest, Utopia Sprawl. On green. Pass the turn. Nykthos could end up being relevant. Opponent, Spire Bluff. And passes. Well, let's see. Play Windswept Heath. Play Damping Sphere. Opponent opts. All right. That's a good sign. Damping Sphere resolves. Well, pass the turn. Now our goal is to get to this Rurikthar as quickly as possible. To have 2 layers of Storm Hate. All right, there's Electromancer. Well, crack Windswept Heath. Grab a Stomping Grounds. Lightning Bolt for Electromancer would be fine. Misty. Well, play Misty. Crack it to thin our deck. Get a Forest. Play Visionary. Draw a card. Bolt. Burning Tree. We can't even cast it because of our Damping Sphere. Well, pass the turn. Scalding Tarn. Opponent getting in. Okay. Yep. And passes. Ooh. Acidic Slime. That's probably better than Bloodbraid. Oh, play Windswept Heath. Crack Windswept Heath. Grab a Forest. Play Acidic Slime. Blow up a land. Alright, opponent floats a mana. Bolt Slime. That's fine. Get in with Visionary. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Can our opponent answer Damping Sphere this turn? Steam Vent's tapped. Looks like no. Oh no. Whew, okay. Well, next turn we get to add Rurikthar to the pile. And then we have 2 cards our opponent needs to answer. Gets in with Electromancer. This is assuming our opponent doesn't have Remand, which would be obnoxious. Down to 13. Not really worried of losing the race to Goblin Electromancer. Opponent cracks. Island. Manamorphose. And passes. Well, get in with Visionary. Hit our opponent. Play a Forest. Play Rurikthar. Please resolve. Whew. Alright. Now I feel pretty good about where we're at. Now our opponent needs 2 bounce spells to try to combo off. And just answering Rurikthar is a lot of damage. Whoa! Opponent double bolts. Okay. Down to 4. So they killed Rurikthar. Opponent getting in with Electromancer. Now I think there's a chance we just win with Bloodbraid Elf. It gets so expensive. I think we just got a Bloodbraid. Play Bloodbraid. And opponent scoops it up? Oh my god. Alright, we got there. Well, we've played all the degenerate combo matchups, which are probably not our best matchups, but sideboard cards. Be good. They be good. Yeah. Kind of working. Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. Playing some Gigantosaurus Devotion in Modern. And so we're playing Visionary on turn 2. I don't think we can keep this. Alright. Well, I mean, at least this hand comes with a plan. Visionary, Garrick, Craterhoof. That could be a winning hand. Possibly. So we'll keep. Alright. I mean, I guess we Burning Tree Visionary on turn 2. Hope we draw one of our Nykthoses. Forest, go. Cavern of Souls. Alright, looks like humans. How did you figure that out, Seth, you ask? I can read, sort of. Windswept Heath. Crack Windswept Heath. Get a Forest. Play Burning Tree. Add some mana. Play Visionary. Oh my god, we drew Nykthos. Okay. Well, if we can dodge Freebooter and get down Garrick, we could get a fast Crater Hoof kill. Now we mostly just want green mana symbols, honestly. Cavern of Souls. Meddling Mage. What is the name? Please not Hoof. Oh, okay. Name's Burning Tree, that's fine. Opponent. No attacks. Ooh, Domri is interesting. Windswept Heath, crack Windswept Heath. Stomping Grounds, untapped. Play Domri. Tick up. Creature. Alright. Everyone's favorite Rornik Armasaur. Pass the turn. Unclaimed territory. Mantis Rider for our opponent. Yeah. Pumping the champion. Opponent. Getting in at Domri. Yep, Domri down to 1. Well, this might be a decent turn. Opponent passes. Another Nykthos. Well, take up Domri. Land on top. So play Nykthos. Add mana. Play Garrick. Tick up Garrick. Add mana. Play Rornik Armasaur. And pass the turn. Opponent. Ziggurat. Another champion. Sure. Well, we might just win with Crater Hoof next turn. Depending on what our opponent does here. Reflector Mage. I think that means we don't win next turn. And we're drawing a land. That's very, very bad. Extremely bad. Opponent. Kills Domri. Gets in at Garrick. Oh dear. Jeez. That Reflector Mage got us very good. I think we're dead. Alright, Chump Champion. Lose Domri. Opponent passes. We draw the land. Well, make a beast. Play a forest. Pass the turn. Opponent. Phantasmal Image. Copies Mantis Rider. Pumps the champions. Yeah, life is... Oh, no. Oh, wow. Well, our opponent just drew one of those. And that just does it. There's no coming back from here. Oh, Gigantosaurus Devotion. Oh, boy, this deck. Oh, this deck. So we can bring in Lightning Bolt. Bring in a Braid. Caught Rornik Armasaur, the worst card in the history of Modern. Compared to Tireless Tracker and other options. And we're going to try it like that. Hope for the best, hope for the best. Alright, we're on the play. And that hand is very slow. No ramp. Alright, this is a bit awkward, but we'll try. Misty Rainforest. I think we actually have to keep so we can cast Steel Leaf. So Forest, Utopia Sprawl. On green. Pass the turn. Rurikthar is not insane since our opponent doesn't have many non-creature spells, but it can block Mantis Riders. Opponent passing. Well, Misty Rainforest. Crack it. Get our Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Run out. Steel Leaf Champion. Turn 2 Steel Leaf. Maybe good enough on the play in this matchup. Maybe. Unclaimed territory. Untapped. Well, I guess it's always untapped. On human. And Meddling Mage. Well, I would be surprised if our opponent named either of the cards in our hand. Domri Raid. Alright. Well, that's just a one of. Ew, Arbor Elf. Well, get in with Steel Leaf. Hit our opponent. Play Visionary. Draw a... Oh my god, it's Domri Raid. Huh. Okay. Play Arbor Elf. Play Nykthos. Pass the turn. Oh, the one... What are the chances? Well, I mean, they're 1 in 51, so not high that we would draw our one Domri Raid. The turn after the Meddling Mage. Ether Vial. And Phantasmal Image. On Steel Leaf. Yep. Opponent passes. Forest. Well, play Rurgthar. Get in with Steel Leaf. Opponent takes it. Interesting. Play a forest, pass the turn. Opponent. Take an up file. Cavern of Souls. Ooh, Militia Bugler. That's value. Man, I would love to draw a Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt would be so helpful. Opponent finds Reflector Mage. Otherwise, just a Crater Hoof. That'd be fine. Would not complain. Opponent. Come on, Lightning Bolt. Arbor Elf. That's the opposite of what we wanted. Well, attack. Opponent blocks and blocks. Well, kill Steel Leaf. Play Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. Opponent vials in Noble Hierarch. Well, there's some chance that this Steel Leaf champion can get us where we need to go. If our opponent can't grow their team. Right now, our opponent doesn't have anything that can actually block it. Although, they can Reflector Mage it for a turn. Opponent gets in. 4-3. Yep. Down to 14. Another Vial. Here comes Reflector Mage. Yep. Opponent passes. That was a daggery draw. Windswept Heath go. Gaddock Teague doesn't do anything against our deck. Vials ticking up. Well, we will see. What are our opponent's last cards? 2 cards in hand. Oh, Mantis Rider. Mantis Rider is bad. Mantis Rider means that our opponent can block Steel Leaf. Alright, we'll take it. Down to 9. Crack Windswept Heath. Get a Forest. Untap. Well, play Steel Leaf Champion. Play Gigantosaurus. And pass the turn. Oh, we got big things, but do they matter? Do they matter? What are our opponent's last cards? Another Reflector Mage is so brutal. Vials, tick it up. Yup. The other issue is our opponent can hit us for 4 with with Mantis Rider, thanks to Hierarch, and we can't actually stop that. So if our opponent hits us... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man. That's another Mantis Rider. Yeah, now I'm not sure there's any draws that get us out of this. I guess it's the same draw it always is. We gotta draw our one of Crater Hoof. Gets in. That is our one relevant card. Come on, deck. If you ever wanted to be nice, this is your time. Crater Hoof. It's a forest, and we scoop it up. Well, Gigantosaurus. It's big, but not winning. All right. So what do we learn this week about Gigantosaurus devotion in Modern? And overall, as far as the record, it was not super great. So here's what happened. You basically are seeing kind of a mashup of 2 different competitive leagues. So the first league ended up going 2-3, and that's where most of the matches come from. We played Boggles twice, and the weird thing about that league is we just played unfair deck after unfair deck. It was Boggles, Storm, and KCI eggs. So playing all those unfair combo decks, those matchups are not necessarily representative of the modern format, and admittedly, those are some of the hardest matchups for our deck. Like, our deck, when we're doing something powerful, it's like Ram Spell on turn 1, Steel Leaf Champion on turn 2, maybe Bloodblade into another creature on turn 3, and maybe like turn 4, turn 5, unless we just get a very infrequent nut draw with Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, we're winning on like turn 5, turn 6, somewhere in that range. I mean, we can be faster, like turn 2 Steel Leaf, turn 3 Steel Leaf, start attacking, maybe we can win turn 4 with a really good draw, but if our opponent's killing us with a Goldfish deck, like KCI on turn 3, like Storm on turn 3, Gigantosaurus Devotion just doesn't interact with that very well. So all that to say, I decided to jump into another league because I felt like maybe the matchups just weren't representative and we hit all the bad matchups. And then I proceeded to go 0-3 drop in the second league. So overall, the record, I believe, was 2-6, which is not that great. 2-3 in one league, 0-3 in another league. And I feel like it was still like somewhat the matchups were not great for the deck, but also there were some things that kind of drove me crazy about the deck. So there is good news. We can get really fast draws where we're killing our opponent maybe by turn 4. If we happen to have Nykthos, we can go really crazy and do some powerful things. But there were some things that I really kind of disliked about the deck. So number 1, only 2 Nykthoses means the Devotion plan isn't that consistent, and it doesn't come up all that often, and it feels like the Devotion plan is one of the best things our deck can do. So I feel like maybe the deck is kind of walking this weird line where Steel Leaf Champions, Blood Braids, and so forth are kind of like these green-red aggro type cards, but then we're also playing things like all the Mana Dorks, a bunch of Elvish Visionaries that aren't really that good of threats, and they're more for the Devotion plan. So we're kind of walking this weird line where we have some aggro stuff, we have some Devotion stuff, but we're not really committed to Devotion, and we're not really committed to aggro. So the lack of focus, I feel, hurts the deck a little bit. So that was number 1. It might be better to go more all in on Nykthos and be a true Devotion deck, or maybe forget the Nykthos and cut some of the top end stuff and just be like a play Mana Dorks, play Steel Leafs, play Gigantosauruses, hope that's fast enough to kill the opponent kind of beatdown type deck. Number 2 is the deck was maddeningly inconsistent. One card that you see come up a lot in these Devotion decks is something like Primal Command, even something like Summoner's Pact, a way to find the one-of creature. So we had a lot of games where it's like, oh, if we can draw our Craterhoof, we're going to win. Or, oh, we really need our Rurik Thar to stay in the game against this combo deck. But with them being just one-ofs, and our deck having literally 0 ways to find our one-ofs, and we kind of have some card advantage, like redraw type card advantage, but not a ton of ways to dig through our deck, kind of means that we just don't find those cards when we need them. So I feel like playing the powerful one-ofs, Wormcoil, Craterhoof, Rurik Thar, all that kind of top-end stuff, it can be very good, but I really wish we had a way to find them, which would probably be Primal Command, which is a reasonable card in our deck anyway, putting a non-creature on top of our opponent's deck, maybe gaining some life against aggro. So I really missed having Primal Command, primarily to find our one-ofs and be able to close out or stay in the game. Number 3. I got to complain a little bit about Runic Armasaur. So, Runic Armasaur, I tweeted about this. I got some other people saying their experience was very different. So, it might just be that our league was weird or our leagues were weird. But we did not draw a single card with Runic Armasaur, and we sideboarded out a lot. It felt to me like it is very much worse than Tireless Tracker. There were at least a couple of games where I felt like if we had a Tireless Tracker instead of Armasaur, we probably would have won, or at least we would have had a chance to win. But Runic Armasaur, in a lot of matchups, it is easy to play around. We saw that playing against some control decks where opponent, yes, they have fetch lands, yes, they have Field of Ruin, but they could choose to just not activate that stuff a lot of time. And then we played other matchups where it just literally does nothing. Against humans, against some of the combo-y decks like Storm doesn't play that many fetch lands or even any fetch lands or have any activated abilities. So we kind of left ourselves in this weird place where it just didn't feel all that powerful. powerful. And not only did it not draw us cards, but the body is just a lot worse than Tireless Tracker. So I think Runic Armasaur, it can be a good sideboard option for the right matchups where there's a lot of activated abilities, but I strongly disliked it as a main deck card, especially since we're playing Modern. There's Courser of Crewfix, Card Advantage Engine, Tireless Tracker, Card Advantage Engine. There's so many competing 3-drops that I feel like do what Runic Armasaur does, but do it more consistently in a wider range of matchups. Sure, we're not going to get the crazy matchups where our opponent just happens to have all fetches and a ton of activated abilities and we draw like 7 cards with the Runic Armasaur. That's not as likely to happen with Tireless Tracker or with a Courser of Crewfix, but they're going to be good in just about all matchups where we had a lot of games where Runic Armasaur was just bad. Like, its body is not really big enough to put on a threatening clock, which was a little bit awkward against combo where we really need to be fast to have a chance to win before our opponent goldfishes us. So I think those were my big takeaways. Deck is a little bit unfocused, straddling the line between big mana devotion and kind of like weird green-red beatdown. So it might be better to choose one direction or another. Needs more consistency. Primal Command, probably the easiest way to do it, just so we can actually find Craterhoof and close out the game, or find Wormcoil or Runic Thar. And then, I didn't like Runic Armasaur. I do think it could be a fine sideboard card, but I feel like if we just swap that out for Tireless Tracker, we probably would have won another game, or at least we would have drawn a lot more cards. So, those are my big takeaways. I think my overall feeling is, this build of Gigantosaurus Devotion is kind of meh. Like, it can win games, and it can do some powerful things, but I don't feel like it's consistent enough or fast enough, especially against the combo decks. But I feel like something similar could be good. Steel Leaf Champion was impressive. Gigantosaurus adds a lot of mana symbols. It was fine. So I feel like there might be something to take advantage of those cards in Modern, but I'm not exactly sure that this 2 Nykthos, no Primal Command, lots of Runic Armasaur build is actually the right way to do it. So maybe we'll revisit a Devotion deck with these cards in the future, making some of those changes we were talking about, see if that makes a difference. So anyway, it was still fun. We did some cool things sometime. We did cast some Gigantosaurus. Beating Boggles was amazing and awesome. So there was some sweet things that happened, but overall, lack of consistency, pretty punishing for the deck. So anyway, that's been our Much Abrew for this week. Gigantosaurus Devotion for Modern. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.